Alrighty, legends, we are back with our round 6 footy tips for the 2025 AFL Premiership season. We're going to start by saying we got 2 wrong for Gather Round. I believe I got the Crows game wrong in tipping the Crows, and I got the Port game wrong in tipping the Hawks. So the rest I think was reasonably easy-ish, so I tipped the rest pretty good. If you want to call me out on my BS, go back and check the last video of my tips just in case. I think that's what I tipped, though. I'm too lazy to go back and look. All right, so we're going to start with our first game. Obviously, Thursday night footy at the Gabba. It's the Lions and the Pies. Oh, my God, I'm excited for this game. This is what Friday or Thursday night footy should be looking like. We'll talk about Friday night footy in just a sec. Brisbane versus Collingwood, I'm very much looking forward to this. I think the Lions are going to win at home at the Gabba. The Pies have had to travel 2 weeks in a row, and we know they hate to travel. We know they hate it. They sook about it at every chance they get. They don't like to travel. I love Collingwood, and I love the way they play. I love their coach. I love their players. I don't love the favouritism they get. And I think that the Lions will just be too good for them up at the Gabba. I don't really know what the weather's going to be like either, but I always think that warm weather up there really does hurt the Victorian teams that are used to the colder climate. So I think the Lions will get up by about 5 goals. They're playing some really good footy at the moment. The Pies look good against the Swans at the Adelaide Oval, but I think the Gabba's another story for them, and I think that the Lions will get up. So that's what we've gone with for the first game. Now, let's move to a dismal Friday night game, a Friday game. We'll talk about the dismal Friday night game in just a sec. It is North Melbourne versus Carlton during the day. Good Friday footy. 2:50 p.m. at Marvel Stadium, probably where it should be. It's North Melbourne versus Carlton, 14th versus 15th. Look, it's going to be a bit of a stinker. I think Carlton should win. North looked very sort of clustery on the weekend. They looked okay for a little bit, and then they just fell to pieces later on in the game as the Gold Coast Suns kicked away last week. So I'm going to tip the Blues to get back-to-back wins, and I think that they're going to win by about, similar to Brisbane, 4 to 5 goals. I think they're going to do enough. I think hopefully Mackay, I'm not sure if Mackay's playing this week, but I think the Blues should get up reasonably easy-ish over North. They should beat them. They're a good team, Carlton, on paper anyway. They don't play like a good team, but we'll see. The Friday night game is the Eagles versus the Bombers at Perth, which is... And the time slot's so weird. I don't know if it's to try and avoid dinner time or something. 5:40 p.m. That, to me, in WA time, is like 3 p.m. What a random time for that to be on. So that's basically an Arvo game. Or Twilight, even. So, yeah. Interesting time over there. I think that the Bombers should beat the Eagles pretty easy. The Eagles are trash again. They're so bad, man. They're in for a seriously long grind of a painful couple of years ahead of them. They are no good. I feel terrible for any Eagles fans that support this club. They're no good. Speaking of no good, Melbourne versus Fremantle on Saturday afternoon footy, 12:50 p.m. Adelaide time. Obviously, it's Melbourne time, which would be 1:20 p.m. But you'd think the Dockers are actually going to get up at the MCG over the D's. Because the Demons are playing some just horrendous footy. The Dockers mids are absolutely firing at the moment with Sarong and Brayshaw. They've got some good young forwards starting up. I'm going to back the Dockers in, and the way they played their footy on the weekend, they look reasonably good. So I think the Dockers should get up by about... I'm only going to say 12 points for them because it's still the MCG, and I think the D's are going to be 0-6, to be completely honest. Next, so far, would probably be the game of the round besides the opening Brisbane Collingwood game. The Crows and the Giants should be an absolute stunner at the Adelaide Oval. Crows $1.80, Giants $2. I'm going to go the Crows. I don't know if I should, but they're going to come off a 9-day break. Thursday night, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 9-day break. And the Giants had to play up in the heat. So at Norwood Oval on the weekend. So I think the Crows should get up. They should run out the game a lot better than what they did against the Cats. And I think they probably had the rocket put up them over the weekend too. The next one's going to be an absolute demolition. Marvel Stadium, Richmond versus the Gold Coast Suns. It's Uze versus Dimmer. I think Dimmer's just got the Suns absolutely cracking along here. It just goes to show when you have a good coach and you get a couple of players to buy into the stuff you're doing, you can do anything. They're $1.06. They are $1.06 going into this game. Richmond are paying $9.30. That's the worst odds I've seen for a while. I think this is going to be a percentage boost for the Gold Coast Suns. If they want to play finals, these are the types of games that the Suns really have to capitalise on. And I think that they're going to come in hot and they're going to win by 10-plus goals if they are to play finals. I wouldn't be surprised if the Tigers give them a bit of a run for their money at the start. But goddamn, they're playing some really good footy. The Suns. So, yeah, I think the Suns to win. We move to Sunday. SCG, 2:50 p.m. Adelaide time, so 3:20 for Melbourne. It is the Swans and the Power. Tough one to pick this, in my opinion. The Swans go in favourites. I'm just going to move this over a bit. The Swans go in favourites, but I think that the Power played such good footy on the weekend that they can actually draw a bit of momentum from that. So I think they're going to go with... I'm going to go with the Swans at home, but again, the Power, when they're backed into a wall, they're kind of like a bit of a rabid dog. They come out swinging. So, you never want to corner a rat, so to speak. So the Power... also, I wouldn't be surprised if they come up pretty well. But I think the Swans should, if they want to be a finals team this year, they're going to have to beat the Power at home. So let's go with 18 points. And then finally, the last game of the round. Oh, no, we still got 2 to go. My bad. We've got the Bulldogs and the Saints at Marvel Stadium, 7:20 p.m. on Sunday night. So I like a Sunday night game. That's good. Rate that. Marvel Stadium, Melbourne. Bulldogs, Saints. I'm going to tip the Bulldogs. Bond isn't back yet, but the Bulldogs are playing some reasonably good footy. They're playing a little bit of patches here and there, but a little bit more consistent than the Saints. And it's just the Saints. I don't know, man. I just can't buy into what they're doing just yet. They're just not. They're not a complete team yet. They've got Max King's gone, so I think their forward line's going to have a gaping hole, and I just don't see them beating them Bulldogs, unfortunately. So let's go the Bulldogs by about 28 points. And then we'll move over finally to the last game, which is the Cats and the Hawks. And we're going to have a cracking time with this game. It's going to be an absolute cracker. I think the Cats will get up over the Hawks. The Hawks got rattled on the weekend. And I think this is one of those things that, like, if the Hawks don't respond, then they've got some, worries. Because they looked terrible in that first half against the Power. And I honestly think that's one of those, pivot points where it could really rattle their confidence. Whereas the Cats coming back from 30 points down against a red-hot Adelaide at home for the Crows is the opposite of the Hawks. They're going to take a bunch of confidence out of that. So that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with the Cats by about a goal. Let me know in the comments section below what you guys think. Who are your tips for this week? Tell me if I'm an idiot. I will see you guys. I got the Super Coach video coming out very soon too. Or I've already put it out, one or the other. So make sure you check that one out too. I will see you guys very, very soon. Thank you for watching. And if you haven't already, go check out my AFL 26 videos. I love you guys. You're the best. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye for now. Peace!